Welcome back to For Perspective. I'm Bill. This is Season 2, Episode 7 of the show, and we are going to cover everything about the Apple event from this past week, starting exactly where Apple did with AirPods. AirPods Pro 3 now feature better noise cancellation and workout tracking with just your AirPods. They come in at $249 again, and I think they're still probably the best deal in wireless earbuds. Here's what Apple has to say on their site. AirPods Pro 3 feature a new design with incredible sound quality, the world's best in-ear active noise cancellation, exceptional in-ear fit and stability, heart rate sensing during workouts, and extended battery life. And of course, you get USB-C now. I think I will eventually buy these. I love my AirPod Pro 2s. I still even have my AirPod Pro Originals, whatever we're calling them. Both of mine are charging via Lightning still. I didn't ever upgrade to the USB-C one. The noise cancellation is really good. The fit is always something that's been a little bit challenging for whatever reason. The one in my left ear fits fine. The right ear is like always on the fringe of falling out if I try to wear it for a run or a workout. So this new design is supposed to be more secure, more comfortable, and I'm pretty excited for AirPod Pro 3. There's a few other features. I probably won't use the workout tracking. I always have my Apple Watch on me, and I have the cellular connection enabled on the Apple Watch Ultra 2, so it doesn't interest me so much to have heart rate sensing data or whatever it's doing in my ears. Next up, we'll talk about the swath of new Apple Watches. So we're up to Series 11 now. There's a new Series 11, a new Apple Watch SE, and the new Apple Watch Ultra 3. So with the Series 11, you finally get more battery life. And that was one of the biggest things they touted with the Apple Watches this year. In addition to that, they are introducing what they're calling hypertension notifications, and they said they expect FDA approval soon for that. And then there's a more scratch-resistant display. My Ultra 2 definitely has some small scratches around it. I've whacked it on a bunch of different stuff over the last 2 years, but generally, I don't notice it on a day-to-day. I actually notice some of the scratches and scuffs on the case more than I do on the screen, but it's nice to see that they're still working on improving durability of the displays throughout everything in their lineup. So we'll see that on the iPhone as well when we get there. So again, I'm an Ultra 2 owner. I've had this about 2 years now. The Ultra 3 definitely interests me, specifically for the better battery life. Apple's website says it's the ultimate sports and adventure watch. Now features emergency SOS via satellite, the largest display ever in an Apple Watch, 42-hour battery life, and powerful new health insights. So there's a whole host of new health information in iOS 26 and watchOS 26. I've been test driving the betas for the past few months. The watch beta actually has been a little finicky for me. Some of the complications have been acting up, but there's a new sleep score in Apple Health that's been a little bit too optimistic, I think. It's kind of like, oh, hey, you went to bed on time and you slept for roughly the right duration, and that's it. And it gives you a really good sleep score. Apps like Athletic, which is my app of the month in September, give you a much deeper dive into your recovery and sleep metrics. I think generally I still align better with the results out of Athletic than I do with what the health app is giving me at this point. You can pre-order the Apple Watch Ultra 3 now. It's available on the 19th of September. Comes in the natural titanium again and the black. And there's a bunch of new colors for the same 3 wristbands. You have the Trail Loop, the Alpine Loop, and the Ocean Band. And those come in a swath of new colors. So depending on what I do, I kind of want the Apple Watch Ultra 3. At the same time, I don't really need it. Mine is fine. The battery life is fine. I think, still has 99% battery capacity. It does pretty much everything that I want it to do. A little bit more battery life would be fine, but I've kind of got my charging routine down, and I talked about that in one of my recent videos as well. And there's a new Apple Watch SE. Not really for me. I tried the Apple Watch SE. It would have been the second generation. That kind of got me back into Apple Watch, and ultimately just didn't have enough battery life at that point to be a useful watch for me. But it kind of got me along the path of where I went SE to Series 7 to Ultra 2. So it's a great entry point into the ecosystem, and now features the same chip. They're all on the S10 chip inside of them for the Series 11, the SE, and the Apple Watch Ultra 3. I think that's the first time they've ever done that. So they're really just paring the features back in the SE from a like sensor and data perspective at this point. And on to the biggest thing, I think, in the Apple event from this year, the iPhone. And we'll start with the iPhone Air because I'm pretty pessimistic about this. In my notes for the show, I just wrote, stupid. Maybe I'm just grouchy, but I still don't understand the Air. Like, from a technological perspective, it's pretty sweet. Like, I can agree with everybody. They packed a giant battery in. Pretty much all of the internals of the phone are at the top in the bar, like basically where the camera is like everything that's running the phone. From a technology standpoint, yes, it's very impressive. It's very thin. It seems like it's going to have pretty good performance, but I just don't get it. And Apple had to make a video about, are you confused about which iPhone to buy? You know, the Air, the 17, or the Pro Max? It's like, Apple, if you're making the video that how to not confuse your customers, it probably means there's going to be a lot of confusion. And this is somebody who, you know, I can see the value of the tech all packed in there, but I feel like I kind of just bought the 16 Pro. And like I said, I've been running the betas. That obviously also makes it feel like a much newer device than it is. It has plenty of battery life. It's actually a lot lighter than the 14 Pro that I upgraded from, easier to hold, has a nice screen size. From my side, I actually don't care much about the thinness of a device. Weight is more important to me. And I think the 14 I didn't like holding at all. Those edges were too sharp and the stainless steel sides were too slippery. But the 16 Pro is kind of the perfect sized phone for me and the perfect weight as well. The Air kind of seems like it compromises all around. So they say it has all-day battery life. What all-day battery life means, I don't know. Hopefully it's not horrendous like the old iPhone mini lineup that's now discontinued. But you compromise on cameras, so you only get one camera. You compromise on battery relative to the other phones in the lineup. It starts at $999, so you compromise on price. It's more expensive than the base model iPhone that now gets a lot of good features. So color me confused. And let's talk about that base iPhone. The iPhone 17, the one that the majority of people are going to buy, gets the A19 chip. ProMotion display, so you get the variable refresh rate display now on the regular iPhone. That's great to see. One less thing for tech weenies online to complain about. You get the 48 megapixel wide camera as well this year. And we already talked about the displays on the Apple Watch getting stronger. This has Ceramic Shield 2 as well for better durability. I definitely have a few small scratches on the top of my iPhone from taking it in and out of my pocket, and I don't notice those day to day much either, but a couple of them are over like where the Face ID scanner is, so they are a little bit noticeable because there isn't a display there shining light through them. And the iPhone comes in colors once again, so you get black, purple, blue, green, and white, and I like to see that. The colors from last year were actually pretty good as well, like that aquamarine and then the purple. In person, those were really cool, and I wish that we could have even more color choice on the Pro phone, which we will talk about now. 17 Pro and Pro Max, Apple's website says, with an all-new design powered by A19 Pro, iPhone 17 Pro features the best ever performance, camera systems, and battery life in an iPhone. So this year you get all three cameras are 48 megapixel sensors. They really leaned hard into like pro video features this year. So you get ProRes RAW recording, Apple Log 2, Genlock, which is something that really only, a film production would use, and some other nice quality of life features along with the camera apps. I do think there's going to be like a swath of people making films with iPhones now, specifically the 17 Pro, the raw flexibility, the ability to link them together. It's going to be a really interesting time. And even in the keynote, some of the videos were like replacing action cameras with your iPhone because they're so expensive. I don't know that a lot of people are going to do that, but I guess relative to like a cinema camera, you could go buy an iPhone and you're likely still spending less and you get a phone out of it as well. One thing that I don't particularly like this year is the change back to aluminum. So titanium is just freaking cool. So I don't know. It's a cool material. They have a new unibody design. So I think that's the first time ever that they milled this thing all the way out of aluminum, starting with a solid block, and then you have a unibody construction. They claim that made more room for a bigger battery, and they were able to put the antennas up top underneath the camera bump, and that's how they are claiming they have the best performing antennas ever in an iPhone. And then they also mentioned heat dissipation. So I haven't really noticed a huge difference on the 16 Pro that I have. It gets a little bit warm sometimes playing games for long periods of time, but aluminum does certainly dissipate heat better than titanium. If they claim that that's the reason they went back to aluminum, I don't know. It could also be that aluminum is easier to machine than titanium. It's easier to get in a supply chain than titanium. It's easier to turn into a bunch of different colors than titanium. So on the color spectrum here this year, notably missing is anything space gray or black. So the three Pro phone colors are a really bright orange, kind of like a navy blue, and then a white color. So it is good to see the introduction of colors back into the Pro lineup. They've been kind of boring. Admittedly, I bought the natural titanium because I'm kind of boring, but it's good to see at least a little bit of variety. And there's plenty of cool case combos that I've seen. Like you put the orange one in the green case, kind of looks like a Master Chief sort of Halo setup. So that's kind of cool. I mentioned the bigger battery, better performing antennas. They start again at $11.99. Pre-orders started last Friday. So again, I don't think I'm upgrading this year. I'm trying to be a little bit more financially responsible. I feel like I just got the 16 Pro. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Like the main reason I went from 14 Pro to 16 Pro this year was because the battery life in the 14 Pro was getting really bad, and it was very difficult to hold without a case. And I just kind of got tired of lugging that heavy thing around with a case on it. So, using the beta for the first time in a while, I got to see all of the new features, the liquid glass. It's been a lot of fun. Some minor interface issues related to the phone app, but generally it's been pretty stable. I joined the beta as soon as they did all the public betas. I'm not a developer, so I did not download the developer beta, obviously. And that leaves me with the new software will be coming out shortly. There are some notable changes in iOS 26. I probably should get my thoughts out into a sort of overview video, but generally I like everything, but I think the new Photos app, it's like, guys, come on, you just changed the Photos app, and it is another overhaul yet again in iOS 26 with liquid glass, and I don't like the functionality as much as I did with the previous iOS 18 version. So there's still some things to get used to there. I'm, again, obviously a tech forward person. talking with my wife today, I said, well, the normies are going to be mad about the Photos app. And she goes, I am already mad about it and I don't even have it yet. And I said, there you go. You're kind of my barometer for, what a normal person will think when they download this new software onto their phone and all of their apps look different. So we covered a lot here in this episode about the Apple Keynote event that happened last week. And you will start to see people showing up with new iPhones and new iPhone videos this upcoming week as this podcast launches. So go check out those videos and see if that's something that you want to upgrade to. And if you aren't already, get subscribed, follow along on whatever platform you found me on. If you can give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, or write a review, I greatly appreciate it. Again, this was the For Perspective podcast. And until next time, later.